Hi, happy Thursday. Gonna wait a second. See who hops on. If you hop on in your live, say hi, give a heart, a like, something so I know that you're here. This is gonna be so awesome and so powerful. So tune in and stick around to hear Lisa speak. You will not be disappointed. This is going to be awesome. All right. Hi, Lise. All right. I'm going to give it a few minutes just to see if we have a couple more people hop on before I bring Lisa. I am so blessed. That is one of my favorite things about 90 Day U-Turn is, hi Trace. One of my favorite things about 90 Day U-Turn is the community that you ultimately gain because of it. You start this, I joined 90 Day for my own personal growth. I wanted to just work on me. And what I didn't realize I was getting was an entire support system of sisters that just truly, it's so important the people you surround yourself. And we may not physically be around these people, but just meeting weekly, being virtual, like, you become Facebook friends and you meet weekly, and it's just incredible the relationships that you build. And are we the people that we hang around the most, how do they make us feel? Are they building you up? Do they make you feel good, positive, like you want to work on yourself? Are you growing? Or do they breed negativity? Or do you surround yourself with people who don't, who bring you down, who live in the world of drama? And the people we surround ourselves matters. And so to be surrounded with people like Lisa, when you hear her story, you'll understand why she is just somebody that I have gravitated towards from the first time. We've actually gone through 2 rounds of 90 Day U-Turn together. And so I've had, a half a year of getting to know her, and she radiates, and I love her. And I'm so thankful that she was willing to do this. So I am going to go ahead and please give Lisa some love as she's telling you her story. As we're going through these questions, please feel free to heart and comment and give her a lot of love, because it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of growth. This is how you know how healing has happened, to be able to share this kind of story. So I am going to add, Lisa hang on a second. Lisa, are you on your phone or your computer? Because it doesn't say that I can bring you on. It tells me I can bring on Tracy, Sheena, laptop. Do you have the capability of doing it on your phone? I think that this was the issue that I had the other day. I didn't even think of this. Would you be willing to try your phone? I think that might be one of the reasons why. Oh, yep. All right. Let me see. I think it should be bringing you. Yay, we got it. I didn't even think of that.
Oh my gosh, I know. And it's always like right whenever you get ready to click that live button, it's like, wait, where did it go?
Yep. Sure is. Well, I just want to say thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You are such an inspiration to me, and to have you here in this space is such a blessing, and I can't wait to, I know that this is going to be amazing. So will you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what made you want to join 90 Day the first time?
Absolutely. So my name is Lisa Stein. I live in Old Hickory, Tennessee. We're about 20 minutes east. Well, now with the traffic, we're about 40 minutes east of downtown people. And the 90-day U-turn intrigued me whenever I first heard about it. So, I mean, that it just kind of planted a seed, right? I am a mama. I am married to the love of my life. That wasn't the first marriage, right? So I've gone through a little bit there, but I am the mama to three. Hunter is forever 29. Jacob is 25 and Haley is 21. It's like, can't believe they're all, the ages. You just turn around and your babies are these grown adults, right?
It goes so fast.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, a little bit about me, I've been in different roles in my life, different things that I've done and enjoyed. And from banking to real estate to cosmetology, I was always interacting with people. So I was like, I just enjoy people. I got into network marketing. There, I did a lot of self-development. I think if you've ever been in network marketing or know anything about it, they always say it's self-development with a paycheck. And I can definitely agree with that. So I was just eager, right, to grow and learn. I kicked off my own personal mentorship online, a mentor membership for women. And then someone was telling me about the 90-day U-turn. And again, I was like, well, this is going to be perfect for my business and what I'm doing for other women. And then after I got into it, just like you were just sharing a little bit, there's so much that comes from it. The 90-day U-turn is like, I heard them talk about layers and onions, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. But right, you and I experienced so much of those layers being pulled back while we were in there together. So yeah, 90-day U-turn was a blessing for me with my business and where I was going, but it shed light on a lot of things that I was still dealing with as far as the grief. And I'll share a little bit about that. I know that you were like, share as much or share as little. 6 months after I launched my personal mentor membership, our oldest son actually took his own life. And I mean, any mama can relate that that's the worst case scenario to ever face or experience or anything like that. And with that, it was a lot. But I also found the things that I had put into place and the practice that I had established allowed me to stand back up, to get out of bed, to take a shower. I mean, all of those things that we do it every day, right? We get up, we get in the car, we do all our things, but sometimes the most minimal things are the most difficult things. And 90-day U-turn was something that really, truly gave me different tools that I could really use to implement not only my business, but then I realized there was some more work that I needed to do. And it was the personal moving through grief, because grief never goes away. So it was definitely beneficial, and meeting beautiful women like you in there.
Thank you. So I love that you already were on like a personal development journey, right? Standing back. I too, I got involved in network marketing 10 years ago, and I will forever be a fan. I know a lot of people have negative things to say, but it truly is what I didn't even know what personal development was
Right.
prior to network marketing, and they kept talking about working on yourself. And so I say that network marketing business actually catapulted me into the world of, Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins, like, and all of this, like, it opened up this, oh my gosh, like I should be filling my head with, oh my gosh, we do have control over, these type of our thoughts and our feelings. And I wouldn't have had that without network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you already had a basis of personal development. And so going into 90-day, you were actually more business focused. You wanted to have set goals for your business.
Right.
And 90-day kind of opened up some wounds and those onion layers we talk about peeling back, things that maybe we just say, oh no, we're good. We, we dealt with it. We're good. And what 90-day does truly is opens up your eyes and opens up those wounds and says, we really need to deal with this, because what happens is our mindset, our our mental health actually becomes like a roadblock for our business. Like, can we move forward? Can we, and not even just your business, but weight loss goals, health goals, all of these things that we set for ourselves that we kind of sabotage by doing this cyclical, we start, we quit, we're depressed, we're angry at ourselves, we're motivated, we're going to do it again. We're really, out of the gate, we're excited. We do good for a little bit, and then life happens, and then we sabotage again, and we just start this cycle. And how many people, if you've ever dealt with that, raise your hand. Like, we are all guilty. And so what you found was that you really had other things that you need to deal with as far as this grief went. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the most important things that I also found because again, I was the first time that we were going through that together, I was like, why are people taking this again? This was like the first time, like, well, did they not get figured out? Like, am I really in the right place? But that was one of the things that I truly found. And what 90 Day U-Turn does is, not only did I already had the things in place that, again, I'm very routine. I call them rhythms. It's like music. It's like a good song, right? That makes you move. My rhythms that I had in place for morning routines and evening routines, those are what helped me get back on my feet, to restabilize. And that's why I'm like, I know a lot of people out there aren't doing it. I know a lot of people aren't, again, they say, the 5 people you hang around, you will become the 6th. If it's 5 smokers, you'll be the 6th smoker,
Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure I had those people around me. And as much as I love the people that are in my life, they're not on the same place. They're not on the same focus and things like that I am. So like you were saying, Mel Robbins and Ed Milet and all of these different individuals, those are the people that I chose to surround myself with. That's why I was so open to what 90 Day U-Turn offered. And what it does is it takes you on this journey. Oh, look at that.
We're celebrating. We're celebrating. I love it.
What I did, that was perfect timing.
It really was.
But it allows us to go back in life, because again, there are certain reasons that we think a certain way, that we do things a certain way, and it may not be the best for us. And depending on what season in life you are, you may feel like you're all alone. I can remember throwing Happy Meals over back seats, running to softball or soccer or football or whatever it was, that there was zero time in there for me. So again, when I learned the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded women, like what we have in the 90 Day U-Turn, it's so beneficial, because again, the stories may be a little different, but we're all so much. I know that you and I shed tears together because we really truly could relate on so many different levels, but we're 2 women in 2 different states, that have never met face to face. But it is that vulnerability, but the safety and the security of the way that the groups go from a large group to like just a couple of us sharing and bonding and growing and learning more about ourselves. Absolutely.
There is power in saying things out loud and getting it off your chest. We so much want to internalize things and just, again, we're okay. We shove it down. If I don't deal with it, if I don't see it, it's, it's not there, and it doesn't affect me. But we found there's such power in saying things out loud. I joke around with myself. I literally shed tears probably every single week in these groups, because it's just, it's so powerful and it's so emotional, and being able to say these things and take responsibility for things and just be able to be honest with yourself and be honest with other people and feel like you're not alone. Like you said, we're 2 people in, 2 opposite ends of the, country. We're just never met, different age ranges, like,
right.
But there was so many things that I was like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, oh my gosh, me too. And when you feel like you're not alone in dealing with these hard things, one of my favorite weeks is, the subconscious week, when we realize that we are really truly programmed from the way we were parented. I was 20, I was 23 years old when they handed me a newborn baby and sent me out the door saying good luck. And, we have maternal instincts, we have all, this stuff, but we're not given a manual. We're not taught how to be a good mom. We're just, oh, you take care of your kid, you're a good mom. He's fed, he's well, he's changed, he's dressed, he's not screaming all the time. Oh, I found formula that works. Like, okay, that's what makes me a good mom. No, what if we deep dive into, my kids are 8 and 11 now, and it's like, when I react a certain way, when they make a mistake, how do I react? When we're doing homework, how do I react?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm reacting the way that my parents reacted with me.
Right.
I'm pre-programmed. That's not a good mom. Like, I know that there are things that I'm doing that I could be better at. What if we say it's okay to not know how to do this, but let's learn. Let's deep dive into our past and figure out why we're programmed the way we are, so that if we come across situations, we can handle it. You just experienced like the worst, anything that the worst pain a mom could think of.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a basis of personal development. So you had a little bit to cling on to. People who don't, like, I can't even, that's why you have people who, live in deep depression, people who don't feel joy anymore, who can't get up and take showers. What made you decide that, okay, like, you have other children, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide, like, okay, I have to continue being a mom for these kids, and I also need to, like, the importance of your worth. Like, you lose your child, you lose a little bit of your identity, you lose a little bit of who you are. Like, that's who we are, we're moms. But how do you, like, that's the importance of, you are somebody outside of a mom, like, you are worthy. What made you decide, okay, I can't stay down, I can't stay in bed, I can't stay depressed, I need to continue on?
Because it's not in me. I mean, and that's the most simple format of it. And that's why this is so important. That's why finding a group, finding your people, and that you can learn from, you can lean into, you can celebrate, you can hug each other, you can do all the good and the bad together. And that was what happened to me. Because, like I said, I mean, it was September 6, 2022 when I launched my business, and it was February 13th, 2023 when Hunter took his own life. And I know a lot of people that have not been able to move past that. I know people that are still having such a difficult time, and I'm not saying that it's easy, by no means, but you have to do the work. You have to be willing to put in, and maybe because I've always had a heart for being a positive impact on other people, that was my whole thing. It's like, I just kept saying, I know God is in the story. As difficult as and I know some people lose their faith in situations like this. And then there's some people that have like superpower faith in things like this. I never knew that my faith was that strong until it was put to the test, again. And that's the only thing that I can say, is that truly knowing that God is in this story, I have continued to be a student through the entire process, because I know that I'm not the only mama that's going to have to face that, past or future. And I've been able to have such profound conversations with other mamas that have, maybe a few months after I did, or years before me. So again, different ranges there. And I definitely think it makes it easier whenever you have other children. I have an amazing, supportive husband. I have some of the most amazing friends. I was so humbled by the outpouring of just love and support. And I think, we went through this horrible pandemic, and everybody was like locked down and shut away from each other. And that's kind of a formula that people are still in, that it's like, I just need to handle this by myself. I'm over here. It's okay. but all of that stuff that they keep standing on and pushing down. So, I want to help others. I don't think, and again, I do have, I feel, one of the worst case scenarios of a traumatic event. But it doesn't have to be something like that. I have another friend that, she went through a horrible divorce. That is a horrible loss. That is a trauma that impacted her. But she too is choosing to impact other women by standing up and saying, come over here, come over here. We can be strong together. So yeah, just wanting to truly be able to be a good example, make a positive impact. And I have a daughter that's 21 years old that's watching me, how I behave in all aspects. But, again, all three of my children had a very different mama, because
Yes.
I was very different. Where you were 23, I was only 20 when I had Hunter. So again, learning as we go, but the most important thing is, if you don't learn as you go, you're not growing. I mean, and again, a lot of people are okay with that, whether it is because they're not aware, just like you said, you weren't aware of all this self-development and things that are out there. And it's some of the most simple things that we can put into our daily routines and rhythms that will make such a positive impact. And, again, we may have to go back to putting our training wheels on. And those are the things that can kind of help you be able to regain that footing.
It's so true. Everything that you just said, there's so many pieces that, as moms, I think that we just expect to know, what to do. We're just expected to, have all the answers, and ultimately we are just as good as we're willing to learn how to be, and to equip ourselves to deal with situations is so important. And like you said, trauma is trauma. It can be as drastic as your situation, or it can be a divorce. It can be grieving the loss of a friendship, a family member, just somebody moving, leaving a job. I have somebody who I know right now who had a baby and who has to go back to work. And this is I remember crying driving to work after dropping Deegan off at 6 weeks old, like knowing he's in good hands, but now my life has just drastically changed. And how do I cope? How do I do the stuff they don't tell you about? So we go through life experiencing all of these things that ultimately affect us, and we're not taught how to deal and process these emotions to ultimately come out with, one, what can we control? How can we handle the situation the best possible? What is actually going on? I lived with crippling anxiety for a long time. I didn't even know it was anxiety, right? I didn't even know what I was dealing with. Now I know what it is. I can have tools that can help me understand how to process things, how to get through. So maybe big situations that are life altering for me, I can now dumb them down and say, okay, how do I handle this situation a little bit at a time, one day at a time, one actual real event at a time, to be able to process and get through. We will go through all kinds of, life is going to happen, grief and anger and resentment, and all of these feelings are things that are going to happen. No life is perfect. No 1-2 family has it all together. And no one mom has it, 100% right. But to be able to fill your toolbox with things that have you every day, you have a purpose, and you have been able to take, it pains me to think that there are moms out there that are drowning, that are overwhelmed and burnout, that haven't dealt with, the emotions of things that have happened in their life that have gotten them to where they are, who really feel like this is it. This is what my life looks like. And I just want to say, no, like, you can have more, you are worth more, you can be more, you deserve to feel more joy than overwhelm, more joy than stress. And it starts and ends with you. We feel that there's so much out of control. That situation was out of your control, but you have decided to take control of what you're able to and use it for good. It doesn't matter what your situation looks like. You can choose to use it for good. And I love that God is in it. He is in that situation. He is working, you know, you are going to change other people's lives because of it. You could say, I've been there and look at where I've come because of it. And what a blessing that is. Like I've said from the beginning, you know, pain, I will find a purpose for this pain. I was in a bad place. I was not the best mom. I was not the best wife. We were, you know, Jimmy and I were separated, and to be able to look at it and say, I know why I went down this path. I know why I was given this situation, because I was able to come out the other side so that I can share my story and say, you can too. And when I look at you, that's what I see. Somebody on that end who's just experienced this. And you're going to pull them out and say, you can come through because I did. And you are such a blessing. You are so amazing. I love you and I love your story. If somebody was feeling like I'm stuck, I'm overwhelmed, I've experienced really crappy things, I'm not, you know, who I want to be, I'm not where I want to be, I want to feel more joy, what would you tell them about, you know, taking that next step forward?
Find someone that you trust and say, I don't know what to do. You know, I mean, again, that's probably the most difficult sentence that you will ever be able to say. But, and for me, going through the death of my son, it was one of those things that it was like, I don't know how to be this sad. I mean, as odd as that sounds, I mean, because I would go to sleep sad, I would wake up, I would eat, I would be, you know, it was all of those things. So that is not how life is intended. And again, there are such simple things. You know, I'm not a huge advocate for prescription medication, but there is a time and a place that too is necessary. You know, I mean, I had to reach out and I had to work with a therapist. I had actually saw her in January for the first time before everything happened with Hunter in February. Because as a 51-year-old woman, I've been going through, you know, this wonderful change of life. So I had been experiencing sadness for about 1.5 years, but it took me that long because I'm like, I'm just having a bad day. I just need to keep pushing through, just like you just said. And like, no, something's not firing right. So I need to speak to someone that can help me. The group that you have started is absolutely incredible. I love the title. I love what your passion is behind it, because again, mamas need mamas, and we need you will I hope it is filled with, again, the newborn babies and the mamas that are the empty nesters now, because all of that knowledge can come together. And again, just having our baby sleep through the night isn't the most difficult thing. It's how do we still take care of us, you know, each and every day. So you're not alone. Yes. I want anyone that hears our voices on this video today or 3 years from now, you are not alone. Reach out to someone that you trust, that cares about you, because of the fact that not knowing what to do is also okay. Social media is noisy. It's so loud with everybody's a professional in whatever it is. And we all get all the pretty highlight reels, right? I love the fact, just like what you share on your page, you know, you are putting in the work for your physical, you know, but what happens whenever we do things physically, it also impacts us mentally in a positive way. So just don't give up. Know that you're not alone, and know that you too can be a help and a hand for someone else that may be going through the exact same thing that you never dreamed that you'd be going through, but you know, someone else is going to find themselves in those same shoes one morning.
Yeah. I love it. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, you know, I don't know how to get out of this place, but I know that I want to. I always say awareness is everything. Once you're aware that you want more, that you want, you know, you want to react differently with your kids, you want to prioritize yourself. I don't feel like I'm a priority, but I know that I want to be. Then you're creating awareness, which is the first step. Okay. And then we can, and that's what this group is truly just to provide moms with resources of, you know, accountability, community, connection, you're not alone, and here are some resources for ways to create boundaries, so ways to prioritize yourself, reasons to prioritize yourself, and of course things, you know, to help build our relationships with our children, our spouses, and most importantly ourselves, because if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, we can't have good relationships with other people. Everything starts and ends with us, and I want moms to understand that that doesn't change just because now you're a mom.
Oh, no, not at all. Even more important,
Exactly.
right? Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here. And if anybody has any questions, questions about 90 Day U-Turn, I do have a couple spots left. The door closes on Monday. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns or comments, questions, or things that you'd like to discuss with Lisa, by all means, comment or reach out, and I will be able to connect you. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye, sweetie.